Hello and greetings to you, viewer from across the tubes. I'm Gnarly Quack, although my friends and enemies call me Carl, and I'm back working on Dr. Strangetest today, my testing framework for PHP. And I don't have a lot of time. I'm only going to go, well, for just over an hour today because I have to head out. So let's get into it. And I'm going to jump right into where I left off yesterday. The last couple streams, I have been converting the logging framework to basically changing the structure of the data that's logged, which is then goes into formatting how that's output. I guess it'll become clear when I jump into it, but like I said, let's just jump into it. So this is going to be in log. So yeah, here I created this event structure, and then in the log, I've just been splitting out in the logger here, where before I was basically just accepting a raw exception, which is these last two exceptions or events that I have to take care of here today, which I hope to get done today. So instead of just potentially accepting a raw exception, I've actually been well, not sort of, but I've been updating the logger to accept kind of the individual components and then formatting those appropriately. So I think I'll just keep doing these in order. Let me just make sure. Oh yeah, I was screwing around with another static analyzer yesterday. So we'll go back to work. And in doing so, I reminded myself why I use PHP stand. It may not be perfect, but it's certainly the best of the static analyzers that I have discovered. But so I guess we'll just get right into skip here. And on the one hand, this seems a little bit unnecessary to me. At least this whole so what's going on here is normally with skipped tests, unless you enable verbose mode, so I can just actually show this. So right, even in my current test suite, I have two skipped tests, and it normally doesn't show them. I mean, it shows that that there were two skipped tests, and then the output says, hey, there were some skipped tests, and if you want to see them, run them with the verbose mode. So if I do verbose mode, it tells me what the skipped tests were. And so part of the reason of taking this during error flag here is that, and output works exactly the same way, is if an error happens during the event, then regardless of what the verbosity setting is, we're going to display this event. So, but what we're also doing here is indicating that, hey, this test was skipped, but, and I have a note here about under what circumstances this could happen. I basically just wanted to flag that, hey, this test was skipped, but something else went wrong. So even though the test didn't run, some other error happened. And I guess I wanted to just sort of flag that. And the way I'm doing that now is I'm just making a new exception and chaining that. But that and chaining that to sort of the previous exception that got passed in here. And that seems completely unnecessary to me. And I guess I've been thinking about how I actually, if there's a better way to format this. But anyway, let me just pull up my notes. Oops. So we've done that and that, and we're going to start on this. So I think, again, file file line and additional. And because, again, skips are always actually implemented as exceptions, I think this file and line are going to be not optional. Line. And I guess what I'm thinking here is, so we get some skip, right? And so we're going to have skip, whatever the formatting is, skip, foo. Hey, Bazin. How are you doing? Early start for me today. But I'm going to also knock off early. I'm doing well. I'm doing well. I woke up early and I did some meditation, and in doing some meditation, I fell back asleep for another couple hours. So there you go. Not really the point of meditation, but I don't know. I guess I probably needed the sleep. How was your day today? It's what about 7 p.m. 1900 your time? So uh well, I don't know how you feel about it, and I don't know what kind of math you're doing either. I never disliked math, but I would find it very hard to sometimes too. It was like I didn't hate it, but it was a slog getting through it. Yeah, that's kind of how I was. I didn't hate math, but sometimes it was hard, and it was kind of a struggle just sort of figuring it out. Um, so this might say something like, I need a PHP version blah to run. Now for an error, I feel like saying and the reason why I'm typing this out is I'm a little bit trying to be a little bit sensitive of the formatting and how long this line is. A book. So I kind of feel like I'll just tack that onto the reason. Oh, okay. Well, you type block, so I just wanted to make sure you meant a book. But basically like a note-taking book. Okay, this test was skipped. But there was also an error. So maybe do it like this. Nice. Oh, that's so you like take notes, but then put them in the book, like what the notes are about, like right in the textbook itself. That seems like a good idea. That seems like a good idea. And then also you have the notes right there next to the text. Funny, all my friends when I was in school never did anything like that. Of course, I don't know. Nowadays, I feel like in school everybody has their laptops out and is just typing on their laptops. So hopefully they're taking notes and not like playing Call of Duty or something, I guess. But that wasn't really the thing still when I was in school. Everybody had their notebooks out. So this is going to kind of change. Right, what are we doing here? So I guess we'll create this event. This is going to be skip the source reason file line additional. Then we'll just stick this event on. If during error, then we'll change the reason and we'll just overwrite that a reason. And then we'll just tack that event on. So I think that'll cover that. And I guess we don't actually have a test to... Okay. So that's just some notes. All right. So this is going to be file line additional. Excuse me, I think I'm going to have to make those assertions there. Reason. Oh, really? I don't even use mouse pads anymore with the optical mice. But I do have to occasionally clean my desk here where I keep moving the mouse around. Did you get yourself like a fancy branded mouse pad? I think I used to have a mouse pad that had Yoda on it. So I think this is going to be the same thing here, right? We're going to pull these off of the test. And we're going to stick the file and line in there. Oops. Yeah, it sounds like you're ready for a new one then, if the other one was just duct tape. So let's see what that does for us. Few skipped or broken tests. So this is in test output on line 342, it looks like. So yeah, this is all going to go to now I need to come down here. Yeesh. I think that should fix that one. 393. Oh, oh, right, it's line 4. Okay, that actually fixed it. 292. Jeez. So the previous format I used to have was in file, on line, line. I wonder if I want to keep that. I guess I can worry about that later. Let's just crank through this. 163. This is going to be... Oh. Guess we don't actually need to save that, but too late now. And then okay. So I guess that takes care of skip tests. Okay. Nice. What kind of math are you doing? No, log output is what I want. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that stuff can be tricky. I remember taking that. I can't say I actually remember the math itself, but I remember taking it. Okay, so feel like we're just going to have a file and a line here, and not any additional, because this is not going to come from a throwable. In fact, we can't even indicate where exactly the output happened. And I guess also, right, I had sort of mentioned yesterday about I suppose, right, I suppose there's no way to prevent you from using your notes in that case, right? Or using the internet or anything to help you figure out the answer, right? So this is one of the things I feel like having different event types and have this just be like an opaque interface might be right, because in this case, right, output is going to be mapped to reason. Oh, and this is going to be output. Oh my gosh. Oh boy. Well, I guess it's a good thing schools are back in person. Although I guess the only thing I'll say about that, right, is yeah. I mean, the thing about like cheating at school, right, is you'll get a good grade, but you haven't actually helped yourself out, because if it's something you actually need to know later in life, or your job, or whatever it is you end up doing, you're not going to know it, right? So, yeah, I mean, even though everybody wants to get the good grade, school is not actually about just getting the good grade, you know? Yeah, true, true. Did you have to learn Latin? I mean, I do feel like though, especially being in the U.S., where, and maybe it's just again my background, not having any other languages around me. I mean, I hear Spanish quite a lot, but just with my family and everything, it was always just English, and I didn't have to take a second language until high school, and I think that was specific to the program I was into. So in general, there's not like a language requirement, but I do feel like having to learn a second language is maybe it's less about the language itself and more about just learning of different ways to think, I guess really is the best way to put it. Wow. Wow, you had to learn all of those? Yeah, well, I guess if you're learning three other languages in addition to Latin, who cares about Latin, right? That seems like a bit much, but I guess here in the US it's the other extreme where I feel like most schools there's not a requirement to learn another language, and I do think learning another language is a valuable sort of cognitive exercise. it forces you to shift your mindset a little bit. Hey Fern, what is my color scheme? Give me 1 second here. Let me just see what I broke. Okay, so I think I do color scheme far out. And I think I may actually have this, give me 1 second here to go private here. I think I may have this, starred. It's Neovim. And here's the theme. I guess I don't need to worry about updating it, but that's it there. Yeah, I really like it. I was looking for like an old sort of monochrome monitor style, but sort of an amber color instead of sort of the green color, and I ended up finding this one, and I really like it. The only thing I don't like about this theme is when you're on like a, as you can see here, the parentheses, it's hard to tell whether my cursor's on this one or this one. Like, it's obvious now because I'm thinking about it, but when you're just kind of typing, it's hard to tell which one you're on. That's about the only thing that I don't really like about this theme, but otherwise I really enjoy it. That sounds like a lot of work, Basin. Sorry, I need to respond to a text here about lunch plans. What's tree sitter? I guess I don't know what tree sitter is. Is that like a Vim extension? All right, so I think let me just check this. So this is all in log. So I guess what we need to do here is oh, okay. Oh, so it actually does it do that for like syntax highlighting and also for like auto completion and stuff? Yeah. I mean, I guess if you really want to get syntax highlighting correct, that would be the proper way to do it, as opposed to kind of using. I think most of them just use regular expressions or something. I don't really know, but Huh, I may have to look into that because I don't always program PHP, and I'm thinking about my next project being like C++ or maybe C. Huh. Yeah, I guess it also has more awareness than, right, of like the code blocks and stuff. I feel like, but there's that four coder editor, and it has like an integrated C, maybe a C++ parser, and I feel like that kind of does the same thing. Not that I've ever actually used it, but so what is this all in? Reset buffer, that goes up to 489, and then I should probably warn you if you're a Vim user, Fern, that I am not the world's most fluent NeoVim user. So uh, if I start to struggle, then you'll know why. Just be warned. Is that like a GitHub account? Huh. Okay. I wish the background was a touch darker. I guess that'd be my only comment on that. I guess it's pretty close. Since as I get older, I find higher contrast is definitely my preference. It looks nice though. It still kind of has that amber thing going. Oh, huh. Well, it's funny he has a comment, or they have a comment right here about this. I have to remember to check this out. I'll save this for later. So I guess what I'm saying here is when I start buffering, I want to take a file on the line. And then well, before I do that, let me actually see where start buffering is called from. So mainly in the runner and then here in Discover. So let me so this is when we're loading a file, so we won't have a file in a line there. But then I think everywhere else, oops, what did I do? We're essentially doing a function, which we should have that information for? Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. So I guess we'll just do that. And I guess we'll make those null. Oops. I don't know, I guess... we're going to have to add those to the logger then. And then what does reset? So I guess that is that. That's going to break. So I guess we'll just go through here. 5. None of these line numbers are going to be correct anymore. So this is in reset. That's resetting the buffer, which we have the logger. So this is going to turn into buffer line. So this is output. Oh, we're going to want something like that, I suppose. Oh, this is okay. So there. Log output. This is going to be two and 1. It's going to be the same thing here. Is that it then? Oh. Nice. Assuming that's you ended up with the right answer, right? Oh, wow. Oh, that's right. I need to... Do you know what you're going to write about, Basin? What's the hard part? The writing in Spanish or coming up with something creative to write? Oh. Oh, you know what? We're reset. So I guess what we're saying here then is, oh, really? Well, I guess we did say there is a situation, right, where those could not exist when we're actually buffering the loading of the file. Yeah, sure thing, Basin. Yeah, Fern. I keep telling myself I need to sit down and because I got far enough through like the Vim manual to get proficient, but not to get really powerful at it. So it's like I'm like, okay, I need to sit down and keep learning, keep reading through the manual so I can get really um, more proficient at it. I guess so. Output two. So I feel like at this point, oh, hey, Schooly, welcome. Thank you for the lurk. Hope you're doing well today. Okay. So I'm actually gonna go away for just a couple minutes to refill my coffee. Um, only about a couple minutes, so I'll be back. I'll be back shortly with some fresh coffee. So I don't know what happened there. I guess I did. I guess I took a long time refilling my coffee. And there's something going on with my camera today too. It's got me in like the Fight Club basement again, I feel like. Oh well. Yeah, I've only for now, if you're still there, I've only been using Vim or NeoVim for about 2 years, so uh, it's kind of like I need to push myself to get out of my comfort zone and actually start to really use it. So this is gonna all be in test output. Oh no, not at all. So I guess what I really want to do is all of these are now just gonna get their own line. So I should probably kind of sort this out. All right, so line 1, line 2, line 3, line 4, line 5. This is going to be file, line 2, line 3, line 4, line 5. Oops. Line 7. Oh, yeah, this is verbose. Okay. 1, 2. Oops. 3, 4. 5, 6. 7. So I think that should fix that. Oh, B and W jumping was the okay. I thought I was gonna ask what your tip was, but that was the tip, B and W. Yeah. Sometimes when I watch the VODs afterwards, I'm like, why am I just manually scrolling when I could jump words? But there you go. So did I actually fix anything? No. What? Did I give everything the wrong line number now? 1, 2, 3, 4. So, oh, pass was, okay. So this output was line 2. This failure is line 3. This output is line 4. This error is line 5. This output is line 6. This skip is line 7. That's line 8. So I think that'll fix that. Yeah, it's one of those things where I wonder how much time, because usually then I have to like count the number of words in my head, and I'm like, is that any quicker than just mashing the B button until I get there? I don't know. I'm not saying it isn't quicker, but it's just one of those things that feels like sitting there figuring out how many words I have to jump. It doesn't feel quicker, but I haven't. Right, yeah. Okay, so I'm down to. I feel like that didn't. $150. I guess that did pass. So this is going to be the same thing. Line, oops. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 7. 5. 3. Oh, I don't even know what motions are. And actually, I do have to say, learning U of M did make me a faster typer because I figured all the, so I wasn't like a touch typer. I mean, I didn't like hunt and peck, but I had just never learned like proper typing. And when I first set out to learn Vim, I was like, well, all of these commands probably assume, right, you're using proper typing technique so that your fingers are already in the correct place. So that encouraged me to go do like a free, like online touch typing course. So, because I just blew that off in grade school. But as a result of that, then I learned proper touch typing, and I do feel like I'm a faster typer. Although my fingers, I don't know if I need to get a different mechanical keyboard. Like these are blue switches, so I'm thinking maybe brown switches with a little bit less resistance. But I sometimes feel like my fingers go a little bit too fast, and I can't. I keep misspelling words. Wait, what did I just do there? So that's going to be line 2. Because of that failure, this is going to be line 3. And then that error is going to be line 5. Line 6. But I guess the short of that story is if you don't know touch typing, I would encourage trying to learn it. And there's so many free courses. There are like 2 free online sites that I went to, and I just went through both of them because they covered a little bit different things. And it may be obnoxious at first because you will be typing slower, but as you kind of get used to it, I think you will speed up. All right. So what happened here? This is in 212. So that is here. Which one? So my output 2 is wrong. So output 2 should be Oh yeah, this is all wrong. Let me try that. Okay, I guess that did fix it. Are those motions like? Do they talk about those motions, Fern? Do they talk about those motions in the manual? Okay, sweet. Oh yeah, I know some of those. Like I know yank in word or delete a word. So that I do use that sometimes. But I haven't gotten full, and I've learned how to like reflow a paragraph, but like I still kind of have a hard time jumping around to matching braces, or something anything more complex than like deleting, yeah, like deleting a word or reflowing a sentence. That's about all I know. Sorry, I'm just trying to finalize some lunch plans here. Huh. Do you use jumps a lot? Because one thing I've never really, or marks, where you set a mark and then you can jump around. That's something I feel like I could do better, make better use of those, but I've never really, I feel like, learned the benefit of using marks and jumping around and stuff. Okay. See, this is all the stuff I guess I need to take some time. I need to find like an hour off stream every day or something and just and I also feel like when I sit down to code, I need to type a little note under my monitor that says something like today do this. Like a reminder to try some new thing. Oh, you know what I wanted to do? Yeah. Well, like here, like right now, like I've kind of been working on this one function, and I feel like if I had set a mark here, then I could just come back to it without having to like always search for it. So I do feel like in that case it would have been useful to learn how to set a mark, at least for, while I'm working on this function. You have a mobile config? So wait a second. Oops. Oh, that was... Oh. Okay, I set those to null. Okay, so I don't think we're actually doing anything here because I didn't break that signature. Yeah, do you have like a .files or something and on up on GitHub or something? Okay, there are all the breakages. Yeah, if I mean if you feel like throwing a link in chat, I'll go ahead and start it. Hey, Basin, welcome back. So here just for now to get this working, I'll pass null there. Okay, so we're good in Discover. So this is going to be the same nonsense here where we've got to pick off the file and line number and then assert that we actually got something back from reflection. Cool. Homework's done for the night. Okay, so that worked. So I think I already have that here. 557. So what was that, like 600? So I think I'm just going to need to yank all of this. What was that? 557, 544. Yep. Uh, 536. I just need to pass that in. Four 63. 445. Well, I'm gonna need all that. Do I still have this in my buffer? Oops, I do. So this is gonna be what, class test? Let me just check all of that. Still looks good. Oops. It's going to be so obnoxious, I tell you. All right, so that was 401 now. I already have this here. $72. This is going to be file now. $342. $312. And 278, I believe, and we're done. Hooray. Okay, so now we can go back to log. We can make those nullable and fix that. And I guess I could write this now. Okay, yes, we should. So it includes, excuse me. But let's just check this out. That looks correct. And in 260, that looks correct. Okay. And I don't know, I feel like of course, this just occurred to me. I wonder if I have some output. So I feel like this needs to be maybe reworded because, right, the output is not actually happening on that line, but it happened during the execution of this function. I guess that makes sense, right? Skipping is not an error. so we shouldn't see that. Okay, so that's pretty dope, I feel like. Oh, you know what? Let's take this. There's actually a ton of stuff I could probably clean up now. But I'm just going to basically have to step through it and kind of sort that out. So the only thing non-nullable here is, well, the source is not nullable, but I'm never asserting on the source. And I guess, just to be OCD, I'll move reason down below source. Oh, I guess now I need to update. Right now, this is just an array of events. Oops. Let me see if that fixes some things up. And then after I get this done, I am actually going to have to go. That didn't fix anything. I guess we'll work backwards here. I guess I just didn't fix the right things. So when we get the events out, I guess I just need to get through all this. Same thing here. That should hopefully clear that up. Oh. Thank you, PHP Stan. Well, that's not a great typo. Type. typo. In fact, I can't even. This is supposed to be what? Figure? The G? Yeah. I guess I was thinking fix and I typed fixer. Okay, so with that done, I can now sort out some of this buffering stuff. Because I think there's some changes I want to make to how we're handling buffering, but also now I can start hacking away on this. Because one of the things I would like to do, well, first of all, I think I can strip out everything up to like basically turn this into a path that's relative to the working directory. So that will shorten this up a lot. But also, and one of the things that, because one of my first comments that I made was exceptions that are thrown by the framework itself versus just exceptions thrown generally elsewhere are handled a little bit differently, because the framework's exceptions basically go through the trace and filter out all of this that is inside the framework, because this doesn't have anything to do with the test code. So basically we just want this, when you filter out all the frameworks trace, all you have is just the call site in the test, and that's all we want to show. So yeah, so just kind of trim down these paths and then filter out part of the trace that doesn't really have anything to do with the tests. So that formatting and figuring out the buffering, and that ended up being a bit smoother than I thought it was going to go. But I think with that, kind of the logging will be done. So let's just add this. Let's just see how this goes with the test matrix, and then I'm actually going to have to bug out of here. But we didn't do anything too crazy, so I think everything should probably pass. Have a good one, Bazin. Thanks for hanging out and lurking. Have a good night. Yeah, you too. I'm actually going to call it myself because I have to go meet a friend for lunch now. So, yep, like I said at the beginning, not that anybody's watching a short stream today, but I'm happy with what I got done. I just kind of wanted to knock out the rest of that converting stuff. So if anybody's lurking, or all the people that were in chat today, or if anybody's watching the VOD after the fact, thank you for joining me. And whoever or whenever or wherever you are, I bid you peace. And hello, I am. Sorry, I've got a. I hope he didn't just show up, but I've got a friend waiting for me, so I have to go. Meet them for lunch. So, but I will probably be back on tomorrow about the same time if you're around tomorrow. But yeah, thanks for stopping in. Thanks for joining or checking out the stream. But yeah, whoever, whenever, or wherever you are, I bid you peace and take care of yourself.